What is going on, everybody?
Hello!
It is Pixmarters here, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. When we left off, they name dropped me.
Yeah,
That caught me off guard. But everyone's having a handy-dandy family reunion coming in one by one every time the former ambassador Alba is going to walk away. We have Gumshoe come in. We have Lang come in. We even have the Steel Samurai and Pink Princess, quote-unquote Steel Samurai and Pink Princess, walk in and save the day. But it is time for us. It is far from over, Mr. Alba. You are a most persistent man. Are you saying that you've thought of a way to move the body through the water? Move the body through the water? That's completely unrelated to how it was done. Excuse me?
You heard
The reason I say this is because there wasn't any water in there at the time. What do you mean there wasn't any water?
What do you mean?
Why
He's
did
all the way in our country.
Why did I hear the judge just now? It's just what it sounds like. Tonight's events made it possible to drain the water, allowing the body to be moved. Wait. So is this where I point the fire?
Yeah.
Because the way they make that sound, they're not being specific over what it is that they're saying.
Oh, wait.
Like, I was expecting them to say tonight's event made this possible, but they were like, made it possible to drain the water.
It's
like,
the fires,
Yes, it's just, I hope everyone sees the way they worded that made it very ambiguous as to what exactly they were looking for. If it was for the fact that we knew about, you know,
if it wasn't for your
all of that.
correct theory.
Yeah. Tonight, the Yatagarasu set fire to a variety of locations in the Babalese embassy. In order to put the fires out, much of the reservoir's water was used.
No offense, but you like hardly ever pinpoint it as quickly as you did last episode.
Yep.
Am I wrong?
Well, there are sometimes they get it, or there's sometimes they get it way in advance.
True, but I mean, like, I'm trying to say I was impressed.
Well, thank you for being impressed by me. Of course, when the water was used, the reservoir's water level went down. If enough water was drained, the connecting pipe could be used to traverse the border.
Oh God, I forgot he sounds like that.
So what? The water level went down, the reservoirs were connected. Does any of this matter? You can't prove any of this.
Yeah.
Pretending to be ignorant won't work with me. We both know what kind of situation we're in right now.
That's ignorant.
Even in a game, there comes a critical game-changing moment. A moment in which you hit a wall you must overcome in order to beat the game. When you have to, as the kids say, come up clutch.
Oh my God.
I haven't lost yet. I found the route you used to smuggle the body, and that route will lead to your defeat.
Mr. Edgeworth, not all of us say that.
No, all of you do.
No,
Don't even
no.
say... You bot.
What?
Even if all the water was used by the firefighting effort,
The gummy, do
you still can't really call that a smuggling route. I don't know, pal. I guess he's one of them gamers.
He's one of those robot conspirators. He thinks I'm a robot gummy.
Ah, shit, I knew it, pal.
What?
No one, he talks like that all the time. Talks like what?
He's trying to focus the blame on me instead of himself. So he's accusing me of being a robot.
I know that.
He knows.
I should have figured you wouldn't notice that. Hey, Mr. Alba, how deep are those pools anyway? You don't even know those pools are extremely deep. And there are no ladders or footholds along the walls either. It'll be difficult for Sheena to hold the body and climb out of the pool. Ladders and footholds along the walls? There was no need for such a thing. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Everywhere I go, I hear them. If one were to use a certain something, they could go up or down in the pool at will. Now, it looks like you got an answer already. Well, what are you waiting for, Mr. Prosecutor? Enlighten us already. The way in which Miss Sheena and the body were able to rise up to the ground level. If there was a way to control the water level, that would be the way the body was moved. This is just that the body and Miss Sheena could move up and down in the pool. Okay. Now, my assumption would be the fountain spouts, because that talks about how that's auto refills when the water level is too low. So it slowly refills itself, and then they can get out. But
all she would have to do is just wait for it to fill up.
Let me make sure there's nothing else here that would make any sense. And there's not much. Obviously, use the counterfeit plate to float on like a door. Never let go. Or the samurai dog box.
Well, she'd have to time it really well.
mean,
which she would be able to do.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that makes sense is the fountain spout, so I'm going to go for it.
Because we haven't used them for anything else.
There we go, yep. Mr. Alba used the fountain spouts in a matter of speaking. He used the fountain spouts? How so? You spouting nonsense over there? The water level in the pools can be controlled by opening and closing the spouts. Miss Sheena and the body were lifted upward by their buoyancy in water.
Yep.
You know, they float. You'll float too.
Oh, God.
The fire on the Bob side in the firefighting effort.
She's a witch.
These were set in motion all for the sake of smelling Mr. Cochin's body. Shall I show you where the final destination of my train of logic leads?
Final destination.
First, Mr. Alba closed the fountain spouts in advance in preparation of things to come. Then he took the pushcart that was brought to the rose garden and pushed it along with the Iron Infant and Mr. Cochin's body into the pool. At this time, Miss Sheena was busy conveniently starting the first fire in Babal. She then made for the open air stage pool to wait for the firefighting effort to begin. When the firefighters used the water in that pool, the water level went down. And by the time the fire was put out, the pipe between the two pools was exposed. This is when she pushed the pushcart from Alabasta into Babal. Once it was accomplished, Mr. Alba simply opened the fountain spouts once more.
Yep.
And the water level rose up to its original level along with Miss Sheena and the body.
And she can just get out and just pull it out with her.
Yeah. After that, Miss Sheena used the pushcart to carry the body up to the Secretariat's office. There's an elevator in the embassy after all, so you see, even with her small frame, she could have easily transported Mr. Cochin's body. And that wraps up my thorough explanation of how the body was moved.
Good Lord.
Well, ex-Ambassador Alba, what do you think? Not so untouchable without your precious extraterritorial rights, ding, to protect you, are you?
Why do you keep breaking the fourth wall like that? I knew you could do it, Mr. Edgeworth. Why'd you say ding?
I gotta do it for the count, man.
Way to fight back.
Thank you. You accuse me of moving the body across country lines, but when you get down to the nitty-gritty, you don't have what it takes to indict me.
The nitty-gritty? What does the old man want now?
Proof, I believe is what he seeks. Yes, proof. Without any who's to say whether or not any of what you said really happened.
He wants proof? What do we want to do, Mr. Edgeworth?
There's no need to worry. I've had all the proof we need all along.
What?
The body wasn't the only thing to go through the pool's connecting pipe tonight. Just Detective Gumshoe found the pushcart in the open-air stage area. So, too, did I find one other item there. And that piece of evidence is what'll prove that the pools were the smuggling route. Alright, so... Is it the Iron Infant? I don't think... Okay, so we need to think about what ended up... Not the crossbow arrows. Not the wire. Not the counterfeit plate. Was it the pick? Yeah, probably
we
this.
Found it. Yeah, that's right.
Because it's wet for some reason. There we go.
Yeah, that's where we found it. Like
Alrighty,
forever ago.
Go team. And what exactly is this? You have no idea, do you? This little piece that I found on the Bob side will be your undoing. A guitar pick? Would you care to explain to me how it's going to do me in, as it were? Much to your chagrin, perhaps... but this is not a guitar pick. What? This is something I found at the open-air stage, which was transported by the body. With the body.
By the body.
I naturally assumed that you would recognize it, since you took a photo with it after all. But since you don't, allow me to fill you in on what I found at the stage actually belongs to. Okay, which photo? Is it going to be the commemorative photo?
One. It's the bouquet.
Well, no, that was the knife that was there. Let me see if, because we also have the, where was the photo of, do we not have that as I thought we would have the photo of him and with the Steel Samurai in his office, but I guess we don't have that, so I guess it would be the commemorative photo.
Yeah, because it's in the bouquet. It's on the weird flowers, remember? There's multiple of them.
It's not that photo.
Oh.
Yeah, we have to. Okay, it looks like he said this is what the frame belongs to, actually. So.
Demands that you show the correct piece of evidence now.
Yes, do the old presenting thing. Brown, do it right.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, I understand. I messed up. Think I have some life back. Would appear that this evidence is enough to convince any of them. What's wrong? You seem to have alienated all of your friends. Not quite. They're merely watching out for me, pointing out to me which piece of evidence I should be presenting. And I should assume
Just like
you would recognize it.
Trying to do now.
Since you took a photo with it after all.
What are you doing?
Okay, so he took a photo with the thing. Is it part of the Bring With You statue? No. Let's see. Is it not the body? I don't think it goes on here because it's too small to go on there, isn't it?
No, that was it. That's what we determined it was.
Oh, but it just seems so small.
Do you see?
Huh. Well, I'll present this then.
Yeah.
Huh. Let's take a good look at the murder weapon that was used to kill Manny Cochin.
Yep.
On the handle of this knife, there's a beautiful blooming flower.
They just
However,
have it
it would
really
appear that
zoomed
it's
in.
missing a single petal. Now let's see what happens when we try to fit this pick in that open slot.
It's a perfect fit.
I assume that the petal must have fallen off of the flower during Mr. Cochin's murder, and then it was accidentally placed onto the pushcart along with Mr. Cochin's body.
Because it wasn't meant to be used to kill someone.
Yeah, that's an interesting story. Nothing more.
It was supposed to be one of those pretty display knives.
Yeah. Oh, I assure you it's more than just a story, because for some odd reason this flower petal was wet when I found it. It was wet, you say? Yes, and then the place it could have gotten wet is from the open air stage's pool. Now I ask you, how does part of the weapon which was smuggled into the theater wind up in the open air stage area in the Babalee side of the embassy? I don't think I need to waste any words explaining this, as for this petal explains it all for me. It proves that someone went from the Rose Gardens pool on through into the ball. Impossible!
God, his face.
The people of Zhang have been waiting to see you face to face, Mr. Alba. I'll tell everyone back home, we'll be there soon.
You okay?
You should be happy. I was completely blanking out on those words.
Everyone back home will be there soon. You should be
my brain wanted to say well, but I was like, there's an apostrophe. There's an apostrophe. There's an apostrophe. Read the apostrophe me. And then I got it out. Thank you.
You're like, we'll be there soon.
Why? Why?
Your brain at you right now.
Yeah. It's a little late to be asking that question. You should have known from the very beginning, when you took your first life. No matter how you may plot, or how you may try to cover it all up, you can never hide from your crime and what you've done.
Yep.
Because we're here to see to it that justice is served to people like you.
Of course you will.
You can't call what you've got in a perfect argument.
You know, I don't think this guy is going to ever admit to his wrongdoings, Mr. Edgeworth. Because he values himself above all else. People who can't be negotiated with are people who refuse to admit when they've lost, I think?
Yes.
Because you went really
Sorry.
fast. I don't believe those kinds of people really exist because everyone breaks eventually.
You're right. In that case, I have no choice but to use all the evidence I have. I'll use it all until he breaks to the weight of his crimes.
Everyone breaks eventually.
Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more.
So do their bones.
This really will be
Cracks knuckles.
the end of the line.
Jeez.
Oh,
Just strap him in a chair and get some pliers.
I don't know why, but as soon as I said that, I was like, strap him in a chair and I was gonna just zap him. Just bzzz.
Jeez, no.
Death sentence. Just do it right now. We're the judge, jury, and executioner here.
We're trying to get him to say things. Not stop him from ever saying anything ever again.
I mean, it'll put an end to the smuggling ring.
Oh my god. I mean, not really. They'd figure out a way to manage on their own if if he doesn't tell us where they are or what they're doing and who they are.
That's some high quality H2O right there. Oh.
Meanwhile, I've got coffee.
That's some high quality H2O right there.
Iced coffee from Starbucks company.
Oh, shit.
I only bought it because it was on sale because
Yeah.
we're on a budget because we're not super famous.
Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more.
We're not even really famous, per se.
No.
We just exist.
Wait a minute, but as if there's anything else for me to testify about. I still have yet to fully prove that it was Mr. Alba who murdered Mr. Cochin. Well, I would like to hear about your movements before the murder occurred. Wonder if you could tell us about what you did here at the Theatrum Neutralis? Very well, I suppose I could tell you about that. Because about all I did was watch the Steel Samurai stage show. And even that alone is good enough for me. The only way for me to place this man under arrest is to pinpoint the exact location of where the murder took place, for that is the key to this investigation. Alright, bring it on!
Ooh.
I watched from the last row. The stage was well lit, but it was dark out in the audience.
In the audience.
I swear I was there in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose. I do remember the content of the show very well, though. Is that proof enough for you? Those moving scenes were seared into the old man's heart. I'll never forget them. So you were in the theater proper watching the Steel Samurai stage show, were you? Of course I was. I have a great fondness for the Steel Samurai. Yeah, I was pretty cool up there, wasn't I? You're not the one who's cool, it's Steel Samurai who was cool.
Yeah, and the Steel Samurai's special finishing move today was really something, huh?
Hey, Angie! Who is she? Who's this super cute girl? She's been standing there this whole time and only now he notices her? Her name is Kay Faraday. She's a teenager, and she's helping me in my investigation.
Sorry I didn't get to introduce myself earlier, but better late than never.
Yeah, it's okay, I'm boys.
Silence in the peanut galleries. There's no time for such trivialities at a time like this. You
Mr.
pervert.
Prosecutor, this is the final battle, you got that? I know, this is the end.
Something female and has to flirt with it.
For that man there. That's the kind of thing I like to hear. Then I'll give trusting you a try, Mr. Prosecutor.
Really?
Or rather, Mr. Edgeworth.
He's finally calling us by our name.
Whoa. I'll leave this critical battle up to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yo!
Have no fear. I'll finish the job.
The wolf, he speaks.
This really is the end game now. The time has come to expose every last one of Mr. Alba's lies before he snaps his fingers.
We are inevitable.
I went from last row stage was over there, but it was dark on the audience. Okay.
That'd be a hell of a crossover.
For real.
Ace Attorney and Avengers.
So it was in the audience, but it's hard to prove that, I suppose. Do you remember the content of the show very well, though? Is that proof enough for you? Hold it. Well, I remember the content of the show as well myself. That's nice. That's nice.
That's nice. Miles Edgeworth, don't allow yourself to be riled up by him at this important juncture.
Yeah, I wasn't planning to let him. Well, if you ask me, I think I'm the biggest Steel Samurai expert around here. And didn't you think the climactic scene of today's show was just totally awesome? Yes, I remember that well. And that's spectacularly a special move. The way you delivered the final blow against the evil magistrate. Early summer rain jab. Oh, that scene will live on in my heart forever. Is that how it went? Yeah, I totally forgot about that. How can you forget your own special moves?
Jeez.
That's a special attack that the Steel Samurai uses when he's using the Samurai Spear. Yesterday was the first time they showed it off, was it not? If I hadn't watched the show, then how could I answer you with the name of that move? I suppose you're correct, but if you could, please elaborate on this point for me. One of the scenes of his never seen early summer rain jab move. This is new testimony. This is important.
Yeah.
Press this one. Early summer rain jab was a move that was to be unveiled today. And because I saw that brand new special move, I believe it confirms my alibi.
How sad. The only way he's got to protect himself is that he watched the Steel Samurai. I guess this guy really has nothing else left.
Yes, and to avoid arrest, you can bet he'll say or do anything. But with all of us here, there will be no escape for him.
Yeah, we'll find a way to bring him to justice.
Justice. Now then, let us continue with your testimony,
Paul's
Mr.
like,
Alba.
I sense something.
Even as a child.
Yeah, even as a young.
It was at this very
small
moment
boy.
that he and his brother were drowning in a river as dirt came to save them.
No.
Very well, Steel Samurai special move and the various other scenes. Those moving scenes were sorted in my old linger's heart. I'll never get them. All right, so there's got to be something about the rain jab. But Kay and myself were also in the audience of the Steel Samurai stage show.
He's got nothing on the Gem and Ninja, but he was still cool enough, I guess.
Wasn't my brand new special fishing move totally rad? No, don't tell me. It was you who thought up the special move? Yup. Now what was it again? Extremely silly rain jab. Was that it?
Oh my
No,
god.
wait, it was stone break and chop. That doesn't sound quite right.
Oh my god.
How can you forget a move you came up with? Final piece of Mr. Alba said he was watching the Steel Samurai show. Or if he was busy killing Mr. Koshin, he should not have had the time to do so.
Yep.
Alright. Here's my thought process. The samurai spear. It got busted. Oh, he couldn't do the attack.
Yeah.
Well, there's that. I didn't even think about that part. He couldn't do it because he broke it.
Because they were like, that's the move he does with his spear.
Yeah. The special move today was the early summer rain jab.
I was gonna say that doesn't sound like the move that he was talking about
Yeah,
before.
I was gonna say something. I was like, we don't have evidence about, like, we don't have the pamphlet of the transcript of the show, but that works too. Is that your final answer?
It's like, who wants to be a millionaire?
You little irritating gnat.
I hate
You think you can
gnats.
trip me up by asking the same question over and over?
Gnats are so annoying, dude.
For real.
Why do they always go right for your face?
For real.
I don't understand.
That was not my intention. Your testimony is more than sufficient. However, I believe it would be wise for you to take a look at this. The samurai spear? What about it? The spear actually never made it on stage today. Excuse me?
He's like, oh, you poor man. You
Unfortunately
poor
for you,
old
tonight's Steel
sad
Samurai happened to be a goof of a young man with an abundance of useless hot-bloodedness.
man.
Huh? Having said that, said useless man bent the spear during his rehearsal this evening. Okay, do you remember what the Steel Samurai special move was tonight?
It was the Steel Samurai Sushi Slash.
That's
right.
the one.
Yeah.
Correct, because he couldn't use the spear. Last minute change was made. Had you really been watching the show, you would have known that the move was used. Kirkus Alba, you didn't watch even a single minute Steel Samurai stage show tonight, did you? So if he wasn't watching the show tonight,
And it opens up the possibilities that he was busy killing Mr. Cochin instead.
so where were you during the show? I demand an answer now. Just what is so funny, you laughing fucking old every time you laugh. You're so sloppy. And so are your conclusions. I still insist that I watched the show. Or most of it in any case. What do you mean by most of it? Actually, during the show I left my seat for a spell to visit the bathroom. I assume that it was when that dramatic scene was played out on stage. That is the lousiest lyricist I've ever heard in my life, pal. Just because he got the name of the move wrong, we can't really use that as proof that he didn't watch the show at all. As a fan of Steel Samurai, I wanted to watch the entire show. However, as a Steel Samurai fan, for someone who wasn't even in his seat for the climax of the show, you have no right to call yourself the Steel Samurai fan ever.
Oh, she's like, Kay's like, yo.
She's like, wait, who said that?
Who was that just now?
Phoenix Wright walks in. Hold it! It would be I, young lady.
Oh god.
Oh, Larry, what are you doing interrupting me like that? Hey, just hold on for a second, I beg. You ain't never accept this old man as a Steel Samurai fan, but I totally think he's a Steel Samaniac. What exactly is a Steel Samaniac, pal?
I believe you meant to say Steel Samurai Maniac.
Yeah, and trust me, I know real fan when I see one because I'm the Steel Samurai.
He's
No,
like,
you're
no, you're
not.
not.
I will never acknowledge you as the true Steel Samurai.
What are you getting so worked up over, Mr. Edgeworth?
You don't understand. The piece of the real Samurai
I know.
recognizes me as a fan. As well he should, for I'm a fan. I'm not as though I missed the entire show. It was more a most amazing show filled with the spirit of the young and the young at heart.
The sarcasm dripping from his long wooden nose couldn't run any thicker.
Getting the name of the move wrong only proves that he didn't watch the last scene. What all we need here is something more definitive. Something links Mr. Alba directly to the murder of Mr. Manny Cochin.
You know what, Gramps? You're really something else.
I'm honored to receive such praise from a steel samurai, but what is it for?
Well, I was just wondering how you found out about the early summer rain jab. That movie's a bit of a secret that only a small portion of staff know about.
Wait, it was a secret? Larry, wait, what did you just say?
Huh? Did I say something stupid again?
No.
Did you say that the early summer rain job was actually a secret?
Well, maybe I shouldn't have said secret. It's more like we only decided on the name of the move right before the start of the show.
Right before?
Yeah, the stage director was going nuts because we were supposed to debut the move. About 5 minutes before the show, we threw it up on the dressing room's whiteboard. Early summer rain jab. It's kind of how we decided the name of the move. But by the time, I'd already bent the spear, so I guess the whole thing was kind of pointless.
All of you Steel Samurai actors are the same. The director has my complete sympathy.
So basically, because we changed the move to Sushi Slash, we kind of pretended that the early summer rain jab didn't exist at all. I mean, it'd be bad if someone found out we changed the move, so we made it a secret.
So basically a gag order is issued for publicity's sake.
It almost makes the early summer rain jab sound like a lost art.
Yeah, which is why I think most of the staff haven't even heard of the move.
Yet he has.
Hold those lips of yours still.
What the heck, old man?
I've done nothing but listen, and from what I can tell, it's all very unrelated to this case. It's also very tedious and pointless exercise and wasting time, much like a kid's show.
Then why were you sweating, huh?
Mr. Alba, I believe the one who should be quiet now is you.
Oh!
How dare you?
Easily.
I suspect that you've already noticed exactly what the very severe implications are in this man's testimony. So now you're trying to bully me, huh? Yeah, no implications to be read into the behind-the-scenes story of a kid's show. Don't even think about trying to slither your way out of this, Quirkus Alba. Kirkus. Fuck!
Like we were doing so good.
It's like a tick. You were the one who said it yourself that the name of the move was...
One could say it's a quirk.
Hey!
Early summer rain jab. But that name was only decided upon right before the show was about to start. So, just what are you driving at?
If we're not playing golf.
That the name of the move you told us was never used in the show or said aloud. Now then, would you care to tell us about how you found out the name of that move? Because I can only think of one way you could have known. Quirkus Alba, this is the only way you could have known the name of the special move.
You saw it.
He saw it because he was in the backstage area.
Uh-huh.
You knew the name because you saw it. You saw it on the dressing room's whiteboard. Aww. The staff members who knew were keeping it a secret, so you couldn't have simply gone up to a staff member and asked.
Nope.
Which means that the only other option left is that you saw it on the whiteboard.
So that means that Mr. Alba was in the waiting room at some point, right?
What's the big deal, sir? I don't see what that means. There's another piece of evidence that has a great deal to do with the dressing room, so we can't afford to let this slide. It's related to both the dressing room and to Mr. Cochin's murder. Give me a second here. It might be a twist.
Oh.
There's a reason we have the samurai dogs as
Yeah.
evidence. I was like, there's no way. Because when we were
It came from the dressing
towards the beginning of this episode, when we were looking for things that float in the pool, and I went by the samurai dog, and I was like, that can float. I went, wait, we've had this evidence for a long time now and haven't used it for any reason, so now's the time for the steel samurai.
Uh-oh.
Damn it! Oh, I was so close to having a smart brain.
Uh-oh.
It's a bit difficult to recognize at first glance, however. It comes around. Fuck. Fuck.
I was gonna say it. What would we say about it?
Well, some of them disappeared from the dressing room, so we could say that he took them. I don't know.
Why would he have taken it?
Let me go through things slower this time.
We got it from Wendy Oldbag. What?
I don't know, man. Cut me some slack here.
You gaslit me into thinking that was the right evidence to
I
present.
thought it was. Okay. Maybe it's a samurai spear. Because it was bent early and it wasn't used in the show. So how did it end up in his office? Maybe. That still might be a stretch. But
it came in with Larry when Larry walked in.
But what else is connected? It's not the crossbow arrows. I'm trying to think of anything that's tied. It's not the push cart. It's not the security footage. It's not the trump card. That's old. Not the commemorative photo. Not his wound. Not the crossbow arrows. Not that. Not that. Not that. Not that. It's apparently not that. It's not the fires. Not the Fotogarasu. Maybe. Not that. Yeah, not that. Because that was Domestic Seconds. Not that. Not that. No, not that. Not the Alba statue. I mean, the only thing that's left is the spear. Yeah, because nothing else is really be tied to the dressing room.
We can't afford to keep losing life.
Well, we're towards the end of the game, so it is. I can afford to go on this hunch that the samurai spear.
The samurai dogs were your first hunch.
Well, then next comes the samurai spear, as is justifiably so. Damn it!
I knew it wasn't it. I don't know what it was, but I knew it wasn't that. But you're like, no, it is.
Well, I guess the third time's a charm because you go ahead and tell me any kind of theory that you have for a little second here.
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything at all that you can use to, I don't know, get some time rolling through here as I try and get to, because I have to move to the how do I go to the next day?
Really the dressing room well, I can't really look at anything.
Oh no,
you
you're
have the controller and all that, so I can't.
It's all good. Why can't I go to the next part? Oh god, have I? There we go. I can go to the end. Don't worry about me. I'm not looking at anything that could be possibly seen as a walkthrough.
Jesus.
And then let's see. This is the Steel Samurai show.
Yeah, why would the samurai dogs have to?
What?
Was the only reason why you picked the samurai dogs because it said they came from the dressing room? And you forgot that we got it from Miss Oldbag?
Possibly. Hang on. I'm now really confused of like where we are. I am actually legit confused in this walkthrough period.
Are we gonna have to pause?
No, I've got this. Because there's a summer rain jab, and he saw it. And then whiteboard backstage, it's the push cart. It's the push cart, apparently. I don't know how that makes sense, but it's the push cart.
Because the kid, the Iron Infant. Of course it'd be in the dressing room with all the other stuff.
Yeah. I have a brain that I like to use sometimes, but today wasn't one of those times.
So stupid.
The push cart that was used to move the body was right there in the dressing room.
I feel so dumb.
They literally showed it to us in full like 5 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, they didn't they? Oh.
During the show, the push cart awaited its turn to be pushed on stage in the dressing room.
I feel so dumb.
And it was finally pushed there along with the Iron Infant in the last scene of the show.
I swear we're not usually this slow. You know this, you guys.
Yeah, we have some low moments, but
I also
man.
worked all day.
I know. And then right after the show ended, it went into Alabast along with the Steel Samurai.
Oh,
which means that the only time the killer could have placed the body inside the pushcart was when the pushcart was in the dressing room backstage.
So basically the killer has to be someone who visited the dressing room during the show.
Precisely.
I feel so dumb.
My brain didn't think about that, so... Oh, man.
But wait. What if, and this is just a what if the murder didn't take place in the dressing room?
What do you mean, Kay? I have to admit, she brings up a valid possibility. During the show, the dressing room was supposed to be devoid of people. You don't go into the private dressing room and stand out like a sore thumb.
Yep. But despite that, the killer still managed to move the body with a pushcart.
Correct, and it's because of this setup that the theater's dressing room that it would be the ideal location for the murder of Manny Cochin. Kirkus Alba, during the show, you went to the dressing room. And I want to know why.
Tell me why did you go into the dressing room?
Yes. Yes, I was there. I went into the dressing room. I knew it. I'm placing you under arrest right now, pal. You got that? Arrest. A-R-R-E-S-T. Arrest. I can spell. Edgeworth, you proud of me? You gonna give me a pay raise? No. Damn it.
It's okay, Gummy. You tried.
Not so fast. But what is it now? Am I not getting a pay raise? Don't I deserve my chance to explain myself? Explain? What is there to explain? I believe I told you earlier that I went to the bathroom. But I got lost when I did. I wanted to ask for directions, but when I opened the dressing room door, no one was inside.
You're
and that's when I saw the name of the move on the whiteboard.
Get lost?
Yeah, that's you punk. Still trying to get out of this?
Do you really think you can get away at this point? Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything you can do to stop him?
I don't have enough evidence on him to do anything. I don't have the airtight evidence I need to put this man away for good. But if that's what I need, then perhaps...
Fabricate now.
Agent Lang, I believe an investigation of the dressing room is in question is in order.
I was gonna say that we never went there.
It's possible that we may need to find new evidence there. Yeah, if Edgeworth pokes around in there, I'm sure I'll find some new facts, pal.
Oh, and if we use Little Thief, we may even learn something from a recreation.
We don't need to do any of that.
What? Wolfie, how could you?
I'm not saying this to be mean. It's just that we've already searched there. The men really are something else.
And they found nothing.
There's only one thing I can say to you, sis, and it's that they found nothing. That's it.
I guess you're right. If they had found some things, they would have reported it to us.
They couldn't find anything because there was nothing to find.
And if there is no info to feed into Little Thief, then I can't do much to help either.
Is this the end? The murder took place in this theater, which is not protected under extraterritorial rights. Ding!
Oh my god.
And the fact that it was Mr. Alba himself who committed the murder. If I can't prove both statements to be true, Mr. Alba walks away a free man. Is no other course of action left to us? It would appear that your hand of cards has turned out to be a bust.
It is Yu-Gi-Oh!
Now, if you would excuse me, because of you people, I missed my flight. And I must make haste to arrange for a new one.
Who said hold it?
That's a good question.
Who is it this time?
Oh, God.
Hold it right there, you whippersnappers!
I'm leaving now for the dressing room. You can't stop
It's
me
like
at this point.
Ezra, can I take your flight instead?
First Larry and now you.
What is with that scary mobster-like scowl on your face, Edgy Poo? Don't treat me like I'm some sort of nuisance.
You are.
I've been meaning to say this, but all of you keep talking about things I don't get at all. You're leaving this lady in the sad, depressing, lonely dust that I'm about to cry in.
Why did you have to speak up right at this instant?
But you know what, Edgy Poo? Cheer up, because I'm about to give you the most wonderful thing.
The most wonderful thing? From you?
It's so super special that I couldn't give it away to just anyone you know. My special present of love to my sweet Edgy Poo, are you ready? Is this.
And we're gonna find out what that present of love is next time.
No.
Oh, that's the perfect cliffhanger right there.
Oh my god.
And next time might be the end. I mean,
It might be.
I know
I
based
kind of
on.
hope it will be.
I mean, it depends. It might be one of those long ones, but every time we finish the game, it tends to be one of the long ones.
I want it to be over, but I don't. Like, I want it to be over because I'm so tired of this case. But then I don't want it to be over because them.
I know, but they'll be back in the next one because we're gonna be rolling right in investigations too soon.
Oh yeah, that's right. There is a 2.
Yes. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.